Hi everyone! Last week on my Instagram stories I showed the little like magazine thing I made for my clients. It's like my wedding client guide thing, and I asked you guys if you would be interested in seeing how I made it, and actually like a surprisingly large amount of people messaged me saying yes, so we're making this video now. I'm sorry if it's a little bit thrown together. I'm going on vacation tomorrow and I wanted to do it before I left to give you guys that video in case anyone is trying to make these like before the wedding season starts. So I'm just hopping on here. I'm sick. I'm not feeling great, so I don't know how long I'm gonna film, but that's okay. So yeah, these are the guides that I made. I've never actually gotten published in a real magazine, so this like is me pretending that I'm published in a magazine, which is kind of cool to me. So anyways, I guess first I want to go over why I made these magazines for my clients. The reason I have this client guide is to make the whole like wedding planning thing a little bit easier for my couples and to know what to expect from me and what I expect from them. So I just kind of go over like the helpful points that I talk about with a lot of my clients, go through the questions that people normally ask me, and just like kind of outline things that'll benefit me and them. Like it's helping them with planning, but it's also helping me because if they plan their ceremony like correctly around the sun and like all that kind of stuff, then it just makes my job easier and I could be a better photographer for them. So it's kind of mutually beneficial, this guide, which is why I made it. Okay, this one somehow got ruined. It's all like yellowy, so I guess we're not using that one. Don't really know what happened there, but that's okay. So first, how I made it, I went into Canva, whatever the heck you call that website that lets you make things for free, because I'm kind of cheap. But I went on there and then I went onto like magazine template. I will show you what I did. So yeah, I went onto Canva. It's like completely free, Canva, whatever, and I just searched magazine cover, and then from there I just like, there's like a frick ton of templates. Ugh. And I just like chose the one that I liked the most, which I chose this one for the cover, I think. And then I chose like this one for like the body. And then I just kind of like customized it from there. It's super easy. I have tried making these kinds of things in Photoshop, but it's just like not intuitive to me and I don't understand it. And I didn't want to spend time like researching how to be a graphic designer when I just wanted to make this client guide for my clients, and this was a lot easier and it was free, so this seemed like a good option. If you can't do it in Photoshop, that's awesome, all the power to you. This is just like the easier way that I found that I did. So yeah, all the like design work was done in Canva, but in terms of like what I actually included in it, I'm gonna go through that with you guys so that you can see like, I don't know, maybe what you might want to include in yours. I don't know why I'm looking at my computer when the magazine's right in front of me. I guess I can just go through that. So first page obviously is my cover. It says like welcome wedding guide and then my name, Becca Moot Photography. And then like on the side is my wedding process, everything you can expect and a timeline of when you can expect it, and then helpful tips for your big day. A ton of info for you to use to help you plan your perfect day. That's what I put on the front. The first page is just like why I made this guide and what's gonna be in it and that kind of stuff. I don't think you want me to read every word because that seems extremely boring, but that's the general gist. Hopefully you can come up with that yourself. If you need help with that, I will send you mine. And then next I go over my timeline, which is just like when they can expect things, because I send like updates and then I always feel like people email me like a day before the update is scheduled to send and they're like, when should I do this? And I'm like, tomorrow, like I'm sending it to you. So this just like goes through my process so people don't have to wonder when things are coming, so they know that like I'm on the ball. I'm gonna ask them for things. I just have like a timeline of when I do that, which makes more sense to me. Oh, Luna, sorry. So yeah, this is my timeline. I have just like unbooked, my engagement shoot, when I'm gonna send that like check-in so you can send me all your wedding info, your wedding day obviously, then like when I'm gonna send sneak peeks by and when I'm gonna have the photos delivered by. And then I have like share print because I really want to plug like buying prints through my website, so I'm trying to like illustrate that more in my magazine too. The first like set of other pages, I don't know if you can see this super well, is prepping for your engagement shoot. So then it has like all the stuff that you need to know. I have mentality, picking a location, timing, what to wear, props and pets, and rescheduling. That's just like what people ask me the most about. So that's why I picked those. Obviously, if people do not ask you about these things, then it might not be helpful to put them in, but these are just things that made sense to me to put in. I just go like further in depth so people can know what to expect. And then next I do like making your schedule. This is like my most important page and probably why I made this thing in the first place, but I just wanted to like break down when everything happens, how they can make their schedule. I did like mock schedules of things that made sense. I did like things to consider. Oh my God. In this whole like making your schedule thing, I talked a lot about the sun and how you should know where the sun is at your time of ceremony, and you should consider it and make sure that you're taking pictures in the sun and allotting enough time for me to take pictures in the sun. A lot of times I found that people don't really look at when sunset is in relation to their ceremony, and then we end up taking photos in the dark, which is just not going to get them as great photos as if we were taking photos in the sun. And obviously that's up to them. If they want to take photos in the dark, I can do it. I just like to tell them that that's going to be the most effective way for me to do a good job on their behalf. There's something in here that I didn't include that I wanted to, and I honestly didn't include it just because I forgot, so that was stupid on my part. So if you're making these and watching it, don't forget to do this. I really wanted to put into here like knowing where the sun is going to be on your ceremony location. So like sometimes if you're getting married at like noon and you're just like in the middle of the harsh light, I wanted to show what that would look like in a photo as compared to if you were getting married like in the shade or not in as harsh light. And so people can kind of understand like ceremony locations better and maybe how to like adjust theirs a little bit if they're planning on getting married with like harsh shadows and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I was gonna include that page. I didn't, and I would have liked to. I think next time I will. It was kind of a, I mean, this is obviously the first time I've done this, so it's a learning process. So I just wanted to make sure I noted that for you guys. If you guys have any questions about like what I recommend for this stuff too, just like feel free to ask me. I don't mind sharing. I just don't want to make this like a 4-hour video where I read through all of this. Okay, so the next section is help me get the shot, and this just says stuff that's like people might not think of otherwise. Like I have like bring something nicer than a plastic hanger for your wedding dress if you can. Try to make sure you like your invitation and everything like that is all in the same place, like your rings and stuff like that, so that I'm not spending time where I could be photographing you like running around to get those. Like try getting ready in a well-lit room, which is key, and all that kind of stuff. So that's just like things that will help me work more efficiently on the wedding day, things that I have noticed people like often don't consider, and I just wanted to note it here as like a little reminder. And then this next one is what to put on your shot list. I haven't gone over like family photos in a video yet because it's like scheduled for like kind of farther out, but I do have like family photos I get every single time and I make sure I get, and bridesmaids photos I get every single time, individual photos, all that kind of stuff. Obviously if you saw my video last week, you saw my wedding shot list, so I do make sure like I get all these shots. So when I'm asking couples for a shot list, I don't need them to put like me with my mom, me with my dad, me and the groom and my mom, me and the groom with my dad, because that ends up being like a really long, tedious list, and it isn't necessary because I already know to get those things. So I kind of just clarify that in here and talk about like things that they should put. Like for example, if anything in their wedding is like super special to them but I wouldn't intuitively know, like say like the coasters were handmade by like the bride's sister and she really wants those like really well documented and photographed, then I'll make sure I get photos of those. If the groom's uncle is best friends with like the bride's cousin, I would not know that normally, so I wouldn't know to get that pair. So if they can note that, so I can make sure I get a photo, or like any friends, like maybe neighbors growing up with like the, I don't know, like those kind of things, like I wouldn't normally know. I just want them to put that in the shot list. I don't need them to put every single shot I need to take in the wedding in the shot list, and sometimes people get confused with that, so I just make sure to note that. Then I have my frequently asked questions. For these, my frequently asked questions, I put how many photos do you typically deliver? Do you back up your images? How long do we have access to our photos? Do we need a second shooter? Can we post/print our photos? What type of equipment do you use? What would happen if you couldn't make it to our wedding? And can I have the unedited photos? Obviously, I'm not going to read the answers to those, but if you want to know like specifically what I said, always just ask. And then next, I do like a little overview of what was in their contract. I feel like a lot of people don't actually read their contract. I mean, I'm pretty sure like 99%, except for the one bride that I do have that is a lawyer. I think she read it, but everyone else I don't think they read it. So I just put 11 key points that are in like a less formal manner for people to know what they signed. I'll read these because I feel like it was helpful. I did number 1, I can use the photos to market my business. That's really important to me. If they don't want that, they need to tell me that before, because I will, once the wedding is shot, I will like start using it on my social media and stuff like that. So if they don't want that, they need to tell me that. In most cases, like that's not a big deal to me anymore, but when I was starting out, it was a really big deal to me. Number 2, you can share your photos on social media and with your friends and family. Number 3, you get your photos back within 30 days. I have a pretty fast turnaround time compared to like other photographers, but I really like that, so I keep that. So they get their photos back within 30 days. 4, I can take photos of everyone at your wedding. That's kind of obvious, but like I don't want to have to make everyone sign a model release form at their wedding. So yeah. 5, you will pay me what I quoted you. 6, I can edit the photos how I see fit. 7, I can technically charge you a late fee. I won't, just don't be obnoxiously late. 8, you can print your photos. 9, if you fall during a session, don't sue me. 10, please feed me at your wedding. And 11, don't try to sell my photos. I would be flattered, but also don't do that. So this is like kind of things just covering like key points in my contract. I can go over what else is in my contract another time because there are a few other things I want to add, like harassment clause and being able to like leave a wedding if I am being harassed. That's something that's not talked about a ton, but it does happen a lot at weddings and I want to have that in my contract, so that's something I will add in the future, but it's not currently in my contract, so none of my past brides have signed that, so for next year I will add that. And then prints and albums, I have this whole section on it because again, like I really want to plug ordering prints through my printing shop. I use PicTime, so I just go through them, but I know that they have a lot higher quality, blah, 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 blah. I know that they have a lot higher quality than something that other people might use, and I really think that having that secondary income coming from prints and sales would be a really big thing for my business, so I just plug that. And then next I just have a little thing on advice right here. My advice is spend as much time together as possible, and I kind of like clarify how people kind of like get pulled apart during their wedding. Number 2, plan everything the way that you want it. Again, this is going to people like once they book me, so usually a year out from their wedding, so that's why I find this advice helpful, and I think that people usually get like swept up in what other people want them to do. And then number 3 advice is remember to eat, because I literally say this in here. Not eating, stress and exhaustion from the day, and alcohol, and a lot of times heat, is not a good combination, and no one's passing out under my watch, so I am not doing that. So remember to eat. That is big. And then I just say that like that's pretty much all for now. I have wonderful pictures of the dogs. Look at Bailey. Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of just go over like if you're feeling overwhelmed, I'm a resource. Like talk to me about things. I am happy to help you plan in any way, shape, or form. I mean, obviously I'm not a wedding planner, so it can't be that helpful, but I am happy to like work on the timeline with you and talk to you about things that I know have worked, recommend people, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my wedding guide. It's not that long. Oh yeah, this is my back. It's not that long. It's 16 pages. I know people do like a lot more extensive guides. I wanted this to be not overwhelming and still informative and resourceful, and I might change it in the future. I might add things, but I was pretty happy with it at the beginning. This is my first one, obviously, so I don't know, I liked it and I'm happy and I'm excited to send it to people. The printing company I use to print these was MagCloud, like M-A-G Cloud. Okay, you guys know how to spell that. But I saw that recommended a ton, so I made sure to use them. They make it super easy. So once I downloaded my thing on Canva, you uploaded it to MagCloud, and then they'd show you like the areas that might be printed off, so you like knew how to reformat it accordingly, which was really helpful. So it was honestly pretty easy to do, and for 28 magazines it was only $68, and I looked at a lot of places and they would have been like closer to 200, so I was like, okay, this is like the recommended option and the cheapest option, and both of those things work for me, so I was happy with that. The overall quality, like, I'm pretty happy with. I don't need like super high quality magazines. Like, I want them to be nice. They feel nice. I don't know if you can tell, but they're nice and glossy. But then there's like this kind of goes over on the other side. I don't know if it'll focus on this. Ugh. Okay, probably won't. But this like kind of goes, like the back page kind of goes over on the front page a tiniest bit. And then this one got all these speckles on. I don't know how, but none of the other ones have that. So I don't know if that was like a me thing or what that was, but I guess I will not be using that one. So overall, I think I would print with MagCloud again, just because they were super easy, cheap, and I'm pretty happy with the quality. And yeah, so I think that is it on how I made these magazines. Let me just make sure there was nothing else I was going to include in it. Oh yeah, I could have done a thing on preferred vendors, but I think I would do that if I was sending them out earlier, because some of my weddings are in like April, and it's like, okay, they probably already have their vendors, so that's not super helpful. But I think I would do that for like people who book me now for like 2021. I think I would like to have vendors in there. Yeah, but I think that's about it. That's everything I included in mine. I'm happy with it. I like it. Hope you learned something and got some ideas for your own. I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with and how it's like different, if it's the same as mine, whatever you want to do. So cool. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys next week. Also, I'm not sure if this video is automatically going to my stories because I will be on a boat by the time this is posted. So if you don't want to miss any videos, make sure you subscribe. Not in like a weird plugsy way, but in like a, if you actually like are benefiting from the videos, subscribe, because sometimes I can't post them because I have no Wi-Fi. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys next week with another video.